I'm Nicki Greenham, an abstract artist and illustrator. This is my story of Letchworth life, a collection of 12 abstract paintings and mixed media collages that tell the story of the place I live. Inspired by nature and the sea, I love drawing and painting outdoors. Originally from Dorset, I've lived in Hertfordshire for over 20 years and graduated with an MA in children's book illustration from Cambridge School of Art in 2021. I began these pieces during lockdown, and most of them were completed in my garden. I love using acrylic paints and soft pastels, so I prefer to work flat, either on a table or even occasionally just out on the grass. I'm at my happiest when I'm experimenting with colour, and instead of paintbrushes, I'll often use the objects around me to paint with, everything from cardboard and window squeegees to sticks, leaves and flowers. Letchworth was the world's first garden city. The idea behind the Garden City movement was to integrate people and society back with nature. One of the parks, Howard Park, is named after the Garden City's founder, Sir Ebenezer Howard. Besides the bowling green and the trees, there's a children's park with an amazing paddling pool and splash fountain. So this first piece is called Splash. When I finished this painting, I discovered it makes a really vibrant, colourful cushion cover. I do get really excited about seeing my designs on practical pieces that you can physically hold because it gives them a whole new lease of life. My art aims to portray all the senses, so not just how a place looks, but how it feels and sounds, and translate all of these emotions into a painted experience. I work intuitively, placing the colours and marks and textures where it instinctively feels right. It's a very meditative process, and when I teach classes online, a lot of my students have the same experience. It's a form of creative healing because when you paint this way, you can't think of anything else. There's no room in your head for any other thoughts. It's just you and the paint. It's really calming. This piece is called English Country Garden. I painted it out on the grass, applying the paint with twigs and flowers. I wanted to attempt to capture the essence of the architecture of the Garden City cottages. This painting is called Broughton Hill, and it's a place near where I live. If you look closely, you can see the repeating patterns of the distinctive shapes of the cottage doors and windows in this piece. If you've ever driven into Letchworth, often the first thing you see is the iconic fountains and gardens in the middle of town. This piece is based on those fountains, called Fountain. I'm not normally a morning person, but one memorable day I was up at dawn as the sun peeked over the houses. So this is the essence of that moment. It's called Sunrise over Jackmans Place. The founder of the Garden City movement, Sir Ebenezer Howard, has his final resting place in the Icknield Way Cemetery. It's a place I've personal connections to, and in the oldest part of the grounds there are the most beautiful wild flowers. Instead of a paintbrush, the details on this piece were actually painted with flowers from my snowdrop tree. One of the most iconic buildings in Letchworth is the Broadway cinema. Designed in the Art Deco style, it opened its doors in 1936. This painting incorporates gold glitter that you can only really see when you shine a light on it. It reminds me of the shimmering cinema screen. Across the road from the cinema is the Old Town Hall. This piece is mixed media with collage, pastels, paint, and you can see the clock tower in the top left corner, symbolised with the circles and squares. As a children's book illustrator, the library is very close to my heart. This piece captures the view towards the library and mixed media. I've shown you 2 photos here, so you can try and get an idea of how I collage things together on the page. There are lots of independent shops in Letchworth. This collage is called Saturday Afternoon Shopping. I've incorporated fabrics, paper and plastic bags with pencils, pastels and acrylic paint to capture the essence and the busyness of the experience. The last 2 paintings in this collection are places on the edge of town. Norton Common is the next one. It's a nature reserve with a really magical energy. Walking through the woods at dusk, muntjac deer rustle through the trees and bound across the paths. These woods are also home to the Letchworth black squirrels. Finally, bordering on the edge of the nature reserve is the wonderfully situated Letchworth outdoor swimming pool. In the summer there are yoga classes on the grass next to the water, and I was really fascinated by the reflection of light and the colours of the lifeguard tower, which you can see on the left here. This piece, Outdoor Pool, was made using pastel, sewn fabric and paper collage. If you look closely, you might be able to see the wood and brick textured wallpapers I used. This is my story of Letchworth life. If any of these paintings reminded you of your own story of Letchworth, I'd love to know, so do leave a comment below. All the paintings in this collection are available as originals and limited edition prints. Some have also been made into cushion designs in vegan suede, and I've put the details below this video. If you'd like to see what I'm working on now, feel free to join my mailing list to receive my monthly newsletter. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook @Nicki Greenham.